Hello, everybody. I know not many people have tuned in yet, but welcome if you're watching this on catch up. We're going to be doing some more mixing from my little home stream right here, but more than anything, we're going to be doing guitar reamping tonight. This is very much a last minute stream. I only decided to do this an hour ago, so apologies if you weren't aware of this in advance, but it wasn't really planned. Looks like the bitrate of this is going a little bit silly, so let's just check that that's... Oh, no, that's... Okay. Al, welcome. You were always going to be here, weren't you, my man? Good evening, Marty. Yeah, apologies, everybody, that this is so last minute, but I just kind of had the evening and thought, you know what? I've got reamping to do. Let's do it. So... a bit of background for those of you who haven't yet seen the other streams that we did with the band Mischwald. These guys are a German pop-punk outfit, and we have so far mixed 7 songs for them. And they were really happy with what we have. And as a result, they've now recorded 2 more songs to add to it to make a full album. So what we're going to do, if I can find... the right button, there we go. Yes, hello everybody, come in, welcome, make yourselves at home. I don't know why on earth that was such a high bit rate, but that's fine, it's alright now. Yes, now we can add 2 new songs to this Reaper project, which I have never heard before. So the first thing I'm going to do is just add a rough mix track, which I should really have done ages ago. But I'm going to do that, and we're going to add in... This song's called Alter Narben. So I'm going to throw that in there, and we're going to have a quick listen through to the rough mix at some point. We don't need automated volume for that. FedEx to wait for and a beer to drink. That sounds like a good thing to me. And I just shook... a window in Windows which minimized everything. I need to find a way to disable that because that's flipping annoying. But yes, I hope you're all well. I've had a very busy day indeed. So now I'm drinking my cherry rum and lemonade whilst we get all this sorted. So let's pull the drums in for this song first and import the MIDI tempo map. Embedded tempo... Adjust media to project tempo. Right, so this claims to be at 225 BPM. That's fast, but it's entirely possible that it's half that at kind of double time. Let's turn this up a little bit on my side. Why is it not letting me drag these up? Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm just by default making everything really quite loud. Oh, Al's transferring files over to his new computer. Awesome. So we have our drums, and this is what I've been doing with these songs mostly. And I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. Excuse me. Whoa, that was a good one. Yeah, what I've been doing with these is dragging the drum MIDI, which we did with Superior Drummer 3. Superior being this kit that I made. Which is based around the Progressive Foundry. Sounds good. And from there, that imports a tempo map, which then tells us what's going on. So... now I can drop in the other files. So where's the bass? Drop in the bass, and that should start on the same bar, I think. Looks good. It's on the wrong track, but that's fine. I'll just move it down, and that looks very quiet compared to the previous bass. So I'll just hold down Shift and drag this up. Okay, this has got some real punch to it. Should have sampled the sneeze. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Right, so it looks like this goes on for a time, so I'll make sure that's there. Now, what else? What other tracks do we have? Backing vocals, I'll come back to them. Guitar solos, lead vocals, and rhythm guitars. Right, cool. So let's put the rhythm guitars in place. Now, if I remember rightly, and I think I do, the Florian guitars, flow guitars, were the ones for the JCM 800, and he's now helpfully labeled these as JCM left and JCM right, which is cool, just a little confusing because I've now got, you know, a whole project set up around a different naming scheme. But yeah, these now Mesa left and Mesa right, and these are clean DIs which are going to go in the relevant channels. So if I turn the master on all these DIs, it should sound plinky plonky, but we'll get the idea. Right. Now, at this point, I'm going to save this project as something different. This is going to have to be songs 8 to 9. Because my hardware setup is slightly different today. Right, are these on the wrong channels? That one is. Yeah, so I'll make sure these are not coming out of the master by alt-clicking on those root buttons there. And now I can test. I'll bring the mixer up and test our setup for this. So where's that going out of? So this DI number 1 is going out of 3 and 4, which is fine. We only need it to go out of 3 because that's the one that's connected to my reamp box. I'm going to take the JCM 800 off standby. That was that click you heard there. I've shown the camera on it in previous sessions. It's a bit of a mess in here right now because I'm moving house soon, so I don't want to go overboard on that. But the reason it's going to be slightly different today is that... Oh, I'll make sure this is on input 3 because that's the... Oh, hello. Oh, loud. That should probably be way down. As I was saying, the reason that this is going to be slightly different is that I don't have the Captor X with me. John Brown from Monuments has that right now. So I'm using the older Captor 8, which doesn't have a load box type thing in it. But I don't need it per se because I can use the exact same cab. It's a little less convenient, but I can use 2 notes wall of sound because it's still using my own cabs. Which, yeah, if anyone's not seen these before, a lot of the cabs on the 2 note store are mine. And so there they are. The Big Beast is my favorite. And what I tend to do is bring the output down by 6 dB. Make sure these are linked. Because what I want is the 57 and the 421 from the same cabinet. And these are panned. I mean, it's not ideal, but we'll see. A little bit of overload on both because that does like a speaker simulation. And let's see. Oh, I want the 57 slightly off center as well. Let's see how it sounds. So that should be going out of the right. Oh. Right, this is where we look at... Right, so that should be going out of hardware output 3. It's quite noisy. But then whenever has rock and roll not been noisy, you know? The amp's still heating up. Let's have a listen to that. Let's do that again. Right, what I'm quickly going to do is just duplicate this track because it's still got the original sound on this one. I'm just going to play a little bit of this back from over here, just so I've got a sound comparison, just to make sure that I'm tonally matching what I had before. Right, so that's what we had before. And let's have a listen now. And it's a little bit brighter sounding now, I think. I might have to switch that for the ribbon. That's got it. It was the ribbon. So it was the 101 ribbon and the 57. So all I need to do now is run that in. So this is the bit where we chill out. So it's a nice, easy stream. So that was the original. Let's unsolo these and record it in. Before I do that, I'll just change the latency of the interface because it's all the way up at 1,000 right now because I was mixing a very heavy project earlier. And there is going to be some slight sync issue as I reamp because of the time it takes to go around in a loop. But as soon as that's done, it kind of snaps it back into place. So yeah, don't worry if it sounds out of time. That's part of kind of the system. It's not ideal, but there you go. Do I play any instruments? Yes, I do. Check out stuff on the channel. I play all sorts of stuff. It's just that right now this is a mixing stream, so unfortunately I won't be playing things tonight. But to answer your question, yes, I do. Bass is my number one. I also play guitar. I play drums. I sing. Cool. Nice and simple. So I'll come to reamping the stuff for the Mesa a little bit later on. So what I'm going to do now is record on the other side, make sure that the right output is going to that. Drop this down a bit so I can change the input to input 3. And also drag and drop a copy of Wall of Sound over so we've got the right thing going. And off we go, I think. Oh, wow. Last day in the store. That went fast. Wow. Hello, Danny. But yeah, that was the nice, easy reamping of the top rhythm guitars in that track. I'll come back to the solos. So what was this song called again? Just going to drag this in. Alter Narben. So I'm just going to drag that in and it comes up with... If I double click with a shift on the region, it comes up with this. So I can... Narben... Alter Narben. So that comes up at the top. There we go. Oh, last Friday. Oh, okay. Still, that's going to come around quick. So... That's all the tracks in there that I think I need for now for this song. There is more to it. There's solo guitars, there's vocals, but I'm going to drop them in later on. For now, I'm going to look... Oh, there's a song called Spool Zurück, which I'm going to drop... I'm just going to drop the rough mix in there. Make sure that's not screwing anything up, and then drop the drums in on a bar and make sure they can change their own tempo. And just add the bass in under that. That sounds a little fast for this, maybe? Okay, that's not right. Add some properties. Let's have a listen to the rough mix of this one. This is where rough mixes can come in handy. Okay, so I need to work out what tempo this is. For some reason, this hasn't given me any tempo information. Let's just go to source properties on the drums and see if this tells me anything. Source properties, quarter notes, ticks. No, that's weird. So what I'll have to do is take off snap for a second and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. So that roughly is a bar. So what I'm going to do is set project tempo from time selection, detect tempo. Oh, right, okay. Create measure from time selection. That's the one I want. So it says roughly 190. So I'm going to try 190. So what I'm going to do is add a tempo marker at the start of this with Shift and C. 190. Yes. And that should... Oh, it looks like... Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's more like it. So that's Spulzuruk. Spul. I apologize to any Germans watching if I am horribly mispronouncing anything. My job is mix engineer, not translator, unfortunately. So, yes, apologies. Yeah, that bass line needs to go down on the bass track. And like the track before it, it's not nearly loud enough. I usually talk about gain staging quite a lot, but because of the way that I've got the plugin Mammoth set to work, that expects this level of signal. So I'm just gonna... Okay, stop. You're getting away from me. Stop it. Quickly check that I'm on my usual listening setup through, VSX. That's my default. The Archon mid fields. Bleh. Bleh, 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 blah, 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 blah. There's more people watching. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So it's time to drop in more guitars. So I've got, as usual, 4 rhythm guitars. I'm just going to drop them in willy-nilly in kind of random places and then line them up in just a second because it's quicker to just drop them from a folder onto the right tracks and then dive in and find the start point, which is right on that tempo marker there. So I need these all to start in the right place so the guitars actually start where they should. There we go. Okay, so guitars mild crunch. Huh. I wonder if those are the intro. We'll see. They can always go on the clean channels and maybe get reamped, but on either the Marshall with less gain or on like channel 2 of the Mesa maybe. Hello, Benj in chat. Welcome, everybody. Again, apologies for this being a completely last-minute stream, but I kind of felt like it and I've got work to do, so here I am. So, this has the typical pop punk jank tink 3 4. Let's turn on the Tube Screamer and see how that sounds. Let's just see how that sounds on the demo. Right, so it wasn't super high gain, so it was kind of like that. I might even turn the Tube Screamer off. But let's have a listen. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So the Tube Screamer's still on with a tiny bit of gain and a little bit of a volume boost, but nothing crazy. Any thoughts on the next Ocean Way Nashville? Yeah, meh. That's my thought. I know exactly what it is. Nah. I don't like the Waves NX system. It makes me feel dizzy. That's about all there is to it, really. I'll have to check that in a minute. Cool. Strange ending, but there you go. And so let's turn that off, turn that one on. Open up the mixer and make sure that the right source is going out for the left-hand side. Yeah, I'm not fussed about the whole Waves NX thing. I've tried it with the Abbey Road and it just doesn't sound realistic. And it doesn't matter what it costs. If it doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound right, you know. And that's the thing. I'm not made of money, but doing this as a job, if it's worth doing, I'll do it, which is why I paid for the Slate VSX and have had really good success with it. But you're probably better off just not using it and using good headphones until you can afford VSX, or until you can afford to treat a room and have really nice monitors in that treated room, you know. So having both the convenience of VSX what really works for me. There you go. Here we go. Left side. Cool. There we go. That's the reamping on the JCM rhythm specifically done. A few questions in chat. Is there any way you can run what we're hearing through the VSX so we can hear the difference? Yes. For most of you, this is going to sound really weird for a minute, but I can switch the output stream for what you're hearing round. So you're now going to hear what I hear. If you're wearing VSX headphones, this might sound brilliant. If you're not wearing VSX headphones, this is going to sound terrible. But this is how it sounds through these, and only if you have these. This is going to sound odd. So yeah, I'm not going to run that forever for people who don't have VSX, but yeah, that's how it sounds so far to me. It will sound odd to you. And also, do you know anywhere I could get tracks to practice my mixing on? Nail the Mix. Go to URM's Nail the Mix. And yeah, there are lots and lots and lots of tracks there that you can try and get better skill sets with. Also, just work with bands. Do it for free at first. That's what I did, and then I got better and better and better and better, and then ended up in film sound, and then back on the band thing. And stop moving around. No. Sorry, I do that as a bad habit. That's true. But also, my stream, I do what I want. Yeah, Nail the Mix is great. They have all sorts of stuff. Wow. John Brown's sending me a lot of messages. I'm glad that's blurred out, but woof. Yeah. I'll have to read that later, but he's sending me a string of stuff. Better to ask first and get some opinions. Yeah, cool. Yeah, if you've got decent headphones, they're not quite the same as monitors, but I worked on headphones for years and it was the next best thing, definitely. I used SonarWorks for a long time to make sure the headphones were flat. Then VSX came out and it changed everything for me. And yeah, stuff like Waves, because it's not a closed system where VSX, the headphones come with the software, there's only so good they can make it. Whereas this, it's once your ears adjust to it, and it did take me a couple of days to get used to these, then I was off to the races. So, where am I at now? Mesa. So I've turned on the Mesa amp. I need to switch the Marshall onto standby. Let the voltage drain. And then switch speaker outputs. Oh, it's going to take a little bit of diving. Find out where the other end of this one went. Yeah. Bye, Evo 8. I will always love you. Ow. Mesa time indeed. Once I find the other end of the rainbow, I should say the other end of the cable. Somewhere over the cable. Copyright flags. Alright, so I need to actually switch the input to the Mesa. I think I'm still on channel 4. Hopefully this is gonna work. We'll soon find out. This one should be input 3. Yeah, I'll soon find out. That seems suspiciously quiet. That is going out of line 3. That's coming in from line 3. Hello, I am good. I'm trying to find why there is no sound coming through here. Usually the simplest answer is the right one. Right. Going direct. Still nothing. Is that the correct cable? And is the correct cable all the way in? That's usually the first question. That's usually the answer is no, it wasn't. Okay. So, I see level. Show me potato salad. Ah, there we go. Now we're off to the races. Okay, so, wonder why Ivy talks a lot. Yeah, she can absolutely hear me just whittering on, but... Right. That sounds terrible because there's no cab sim on there. So let's get wall sound on the case, but switch up the cab. So if I remember rightly, I was using the Tall Beast Alnico with a similar mic setup. So a slightly thicker kind of sound. Let's try this. That sounds about right to me. That sounds really good. So now let's kick that with a tube screamer just to get some definition back. That's hilarious. I just changed the entire tone stack on channel 4 and it barely sounded any different because the dual rectifier tone stack, especially on the Road King, doesn't do very much. Yeah, so the Tall Beast is not a Rev 412 Poo Ninja. It is a Zilla custom, which is one of my favorites, but the other reason I'm not tone hunting today is that we've already done 7 songs with this band and we already made the tone choices for the core rhythm sounds. So I'm just recreating those for these other songs now so that there is some consistency. Good and bad kind of go out the window at this point because this is just make it match. And yeah, can do that. So let's run these and hit go. Boy, oh boy, if you could hear that Captor X in the room now, you might panic a little bit because it sounds like a hairdryer. The Road King is in 150 watt mode, which is a lot. Let's put it that way. So don't need that going out of line 3. I need that going out of line 3. Okay. Let's try this on the other side and see what the full thing sounds like. Sounds like nothing, probably because it's got the wrong input selected. Yep. Mic 3 is what I want. Here we go. Oh yes, there is a stark contrast between the way that this 20-watt Marshall head makes the captor not even spin the fans up compared to the 150-watt Road King, which makes it scream. I mean, it's only supposed to be a 100-watt load box. Oops. It'll be fine, he says. Turn the output up a little on that and see if that works. Yeah, so that's just the output, the line level that I've turned up a little bit. I've not actually turned up the amp anymore. The amp volume is at about... Let me feel that bump. Oh, wow. The amp volume's quite loud. It'll be fine for another few minutes, I'm sure. If it all goes pop, it's my own fault. Here we go. Hang about. I thought something was a bit weird. We've been sending the wrong signal out at the same time. Yeah, I thought something sounded a bit fishy. I messed up. Oops. Let's do this again, shall we? So let's reamp this without sending the Marshall channel to it at the same time. Always a pitfall of reamping. You've got to be careful that you're not being an idiot. That sounds better. That sounds how I expected it to sound when we soloed it to get the tone. Boy howdy, that Captorate is kicking out some warm air out the back now. But yeah, that sounded a lot more like I expected it to sound. Good. Let's see how this sounds. Because yeah, the issue was because I was accidentally summing two guitar parts into the same reamp, which you can do, by the way. I mean, I don't know why you would, but it's a possibility. It meant that every time I turned up the Mesa channels, I could hear more of the Marshall channel. It's because it was actually on the Mesa channel as well. Duh. Here we go. There we go. That's more like it. I'm glad I caught that now and not after I've moved the amps back to the studio. Oh boy. Right, so let's record the ones for these now. This sounds so like early 90s American pop punk, it's uncanny. Hello, Christos. Welcome. That could so easily have been on something like Enema of the State. I love it. And now for the other side, must remember, note to self, turn one off when you turn one on, and go. More volume for you. Yeah, that is so 90s pop punk. That's unbelievable. Fantastic. So, all the hot air that Captor 8 was blowing out the back then, that was awesome. It's like watching a supercar rev. So, let's have a look. Crunchy guitar. I'm just gonna solo a little bit at the start of the song. Right, so I think what I'm gonna do is go back. I'm gonna turn off the Mesa, put that on standby for a minute. Let the everything drain out of that for a sec. And while the voltage drains from that, I'm gonna look in the folder. I had 2 tracks called Guitar Mild Crunch. Mild Crunch. And what was the other one called? Guitar Mild Crunch Left. Yeah, okay. What I might actually do then is put these on the Mesa channel and try an actual different channel of the Road King, maybe channel 1 with a tube screamer in front of it. Let's see how that handles. Well, firstly, let's delete the rest of this track 'cause it's just silence after that. And then just line this one up here and see what kind of sound we can get. See if we can get that slightly thin jinga 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 sound from this. So let's go back to here, make sure the mixer's on and that's coming through. So I need to reach around the back of the Road King because I don't have the pedal board for it with me. That's at the studio. So I have to change channels by going around the back with my hands, which is annoying. But let's just loop this little bit. And we'll hear it go from a roaring monster to something... Ow, I hate doing that. Something a lot more close to the original. I think that's about right. Let's listen again. I need more spank, more top. Let's go with that channel. And again. And again. I think that's just about got it when we double track that. That's typical kind of pop punk mild crunch on channel 1. Let's do it. Oh, no looping. No loop. One more time. Sugar. And that's where it switches channels to channel 4. All right. I like it. So let's switch over, make sure we get both sides of this. Sweet. Okay, so that's the mild crunch channels taken care of. Looks like there aren't any solos on this channel, on this song, which is great, which means we go back to Alter Narben. There were 3 guitar solos on this one. Oh boy. And I think this is where we say goodnight to the Road King. And we go back to the Marshall, because the Marshall's really good with this kind of thing. Especially since I modded it, the solos on this thing can be absolutely fantastico. What's that now? People talking nonsense. So solo 1. Let's put the lead one, DI, in there, and there. And let's have a listen to them. I put them in the wrong song because I'm a complete idiot. Way! They should be starting there. No wonder they didn't fit. Good work. Blur. Okay, so let's get the meter on. Make sure that all the rhythm tracks, there's a rogue culprit, are not sending anything out to the lead guitar. So what I want now is to make sure that's coming in on the right channel, and let's hear it. Oh, crap. Switch speakers. Let's do that quickly before it goes a boom. Boom, bang, bang. Luckily, it's a lot kind of less dangerous on a 20-watt amp than it is on a... let's just open you up. Make sure that's sending. Let's also take a copy of one of the wall of sounds and have a listen to this. Right, so that's hitting a compressor, so I don't need to go crazy. And this is where I'm just going to solo this for a minute. Mono it. Is it monoed? No, it's not mono, but that's fine. Right, so what was I saying before? I'm just going to check, 'cause it looks like the... Oh, the chat did freeze a while back. Okay. Sorry, it sounds like an airplane's landing because of noise. Let's just bring the threshold up on that. Hello? Is that on the wrong folder? Yeah, it is. There we go. That's better. So, oh no, it looks like there's just not anything been said for a while, or something's gone a bit weird with the chat. Either is entirely possible. So yeah, like I was going to say, I can now reach around the back of the amp because I've got this mod in it, which I've shown on stream before. I don't want to be dangerous and taking photos of the inside of live electronics, but I can turn an extra gain stage up in this JCM 800 that's only in like special modded ones. There we go, that's now got the extra gain stage all the way up, which is why you can hear quite a lot of hissing. I can turn the master down a bit now. That's going to sound pretty good when we get that gate threshold up a little higher. So it's not just an airplane all the time, and get that recorded in on both sides. That's annoying. One more time without loop. Loop really annoys me. I'm just gonna cut the DIs a bit cleaner. There we go. And here we go. sounding good. So let's just hit record on the other side and make sure that the right one is going through. Here we go. Angabet. That's supposed to be on input 3. Cool. That sounds really good. They were slightly out of time, like I said, because of the reamp sync. So let's hear them now in sync. But it's got that shreddery vibe to it because it's a modded Marshall with an extra gain stage. Okay. And there was another solo, guitar solo to center, which I'm going to put on this track. And just get it so it lines up nice and tight. And I can see it there. So it looks like it's an extra kind of layer on top. So I'm going to add it here. Make sure the other DI is turned off. Make sure I'm being diligent about this. And make sure that when I record this, I do need another copy of Wall of Sounds. That's now 7 Wall of Sounds. So that's going to be draining the processor somewhat. And let's just have a... Oh, it's coming into land. I love that hiss. Can I do to relieve the hissing? Is I can bring in the gate. Yay! And let's have a listen to what we get. That needs a bit less bass and a bit more treble cut to cut through. There we go. Could you print the Wall of Sound? Yeah, I could. But because I'm trying to tone match what I had with the Captor X, I'm going to leave it for now. Because I can then listen later on to these songs and the other songs back to back, and if the guitars don't quite match, I don't have to unfreeze things then to get them to match up pretty much exactly. Because I know it's the same amps. I mean, I don't need to freeze a track or two. I said it's a drain, but still, with everything going on, it's running 30% CPU on this machine. It's okay, it's fine. This is why I spend silly amounts of money on high quality computers, because it means I don't have to freeze things unless there's something really crazy going on. Here we go. Fantastic. Yeah, so that's got that. So those are just little bits to drop in there, which just enhance. So I'm just looking through all my guitar channels now. I think that's all we have. So I know this hasn't been the longest stream in the world. Oh, that title was wrong the whole time. Oops. Reamping pop punk. But yeah, I am going to have to leave it there because I am very tired and probably not in the right frame of mind to complete these 2 mixes because I'm starting to fade a little bit and I will only make bad decisions. So the most effective thing for me to do now, and this is worth worth knowing for anybody who wants to be a professional mix engineer, is if you're not in the right frame of mind to do the detail work, don't do it. There's plenty of other work that I could do right now for the next hour or 2, although it is 10 p.m. on a Friday night, so I'm going to go and crack a beer and sit down. But if I wanted to do other work, I've got paperwork I could be doing, I've got video editing I could be doing, which I don't need my critical ear for. And then tomorrow when I'm refreshed, I can come back, I'll be able to hammer out the critical stuff. Although it might be next week because I'm going to do it on stream, of course. But yeah, now that the guitar parts are reamped, because I may have mentioned on stream this last couple of weeks, I'm moving house over the next couple of weeks. So that means I can now get all the amp equipment from under this desk and ship that back to the studio. And I can still do the mix without it. But yeah, buffer size while mixing, I don't tend to look at that, honestly. It's on 512, which is the default. I don't tend to touch it. My RME setup at the studio is on 128, just permanently. Get yourself a system where you're not looking at mixer buffer size all the time. It's not something you should be worrying about in this day and age. If it is, then either the computer's got a problem or the audio drivers have got a problem. It's not worth worrying about. But yes, that is where I'm going to leave it for tonight. And yeah, I'm going to go and sit down because I am very tired. Back at it tomorrow, and then I'm with John Brown on Sunday. So lots and lots to do. So I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. And I will try and let you know with more than 15 minutes notice for the last mix stream for this, where I'll also be making a few very small tweaks to the other songs for the final master. And I'm talking tiny little things. They sent me a list of revisions, which was 3 things or something like that, which at this point, that's what you want. So yeah, cheers everybody, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you and good night.
Hey everyone, that might be the end of the video, but if you fancy carrying on this conversation, we have a Discord server, link is in the description. We're also on Patreon, which is something you can really help us with. We also are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Hot Pole Studio.